I want you to stop interviewing like an employee and start interviewing like a consultant. This is very important. We're going to approach things through consulting lens, and I'm going to tell you why you're doing these interviews wrong and they won't land you job offers at all. Okay? Here's the thing. I think most people are approaching interviews completely wrong. And this is because I've coached more than 6,000 people land their dream job. You're walking into the interviews like, please like me, please help me, please hire me, right? I hope I say the right things. I hope. And that's exactly what they are losing because the highest paid professionals do not interview like employees, they interview like consultants. And in consulting, I know this because I work for the top consulting firms in the world, PwC, KPMG, and I know this because I've been doing Workday HR consulting for the last 10 years. So as a Workday senior engineer, I spent years working with HR systems, talent processes, business leaders, and hiring systems. So I could tell you exactly what most people don't realize. Companies don't wake up thinking, I need to hire another employee. They wake up thinking, I have a problem. Who can solve it? I need to hire someone who solved this problem right now. And that's what changes everything, the understanding of this process. So most candidates walk into interviews in a weak position. They are trying to prove themselves. They are trying to tell that they're heroes. They're trying to impress, okay? And they're trying to avoid saying the wrong thing, and they're avoiding asking questions. The consultant does something completely different. Consultant walks into the room. What is the real problem here? They ask questions. They ask good questions. They get to the root cause of the problem, and they break down the problem for the person. And then they said, is this even a project I want to work for? That's how you know if that's a right fit for you. That's how you know if you're getting hired into the right company and right culture. So one person is asking for permission. The other person is evaluating the opportunity he's going to create for himself. And you're going to spend 8 hours of your day anyway on that job. So the world of work has changed. Companies are leaner, budgets are tighter, technology is moving faster than ever. So executives don't necessarily want someone they have to manage for 12 months before seeing the results, right? They want a specialist. They want candidates who can solve problems, problem solvers, people who can come in and create value quickly. And you show the same thing in your interviews. Can you show value quickly in your interviews? That's why consultant and subject matter experts are exploding right now. Even when companies hire full-time employees, they're thinking like clients. They're asking, can this person solve my problem? Can this person reduce risk? Can this person make my life easier? And you need to position yourself as a problem solver who knows how to collect those data and answer back those questions. So the next time someone says, tell me about yourself, do not spend 5 minutes talking about your childhood. Okay, guys, try this instead. Before I tell you about my background, I would love to understand what challenges this role is trying to solve. And then watch what happens. Ask a smart question. Ask something from them. Don't just be a whole listener. You're consulting and you're learning the business. That is how you learn the business. You go in, you ask questions, and then you create reports about a certain topic. And once they tell you their problems, you can position yourself and your story and your childhood as the solution. So I teach our members to ask questions like, why is this role still open? That's a good question. What are the biggest challenges your team is facing right now? What would success look like in 6 months in your company? Because they always ask you this question, how do you feel? Do you see yourself in 5 years? You can also ask that question, how success looks like here. How do you motivate your employees? These questions completely change the narrative, the conversation, because nobody else asks them. This is how you differentiate yourself. Most candidates are talking about themselves alone. They don't get time to talk about the problem of the business. You should talk about business. You should talk about problems and how you can be a value to the company. And you can also be personal and personable and talk about your stories, but in a good way. So brilliant professionals do this. And I always ask people who come to my coaching, what do you spend most of the interview talking about? And they usually say our degrees, our experiences, our certifications, and I tell them that's exactly the problem. The next interview, you spend the first 20 minutes understanding the company's pain points. And at the end, you say, it sounds like your biggest challenge is this. I've solved similar problems before, and here's exactly my plan how I would approach it on a framework to solve it. We don't want you to solve it right on the spot, but we want you to give a proposal on the approach on how you're going to solve the problem. If you do that, 90% you will get the offer. And here's your big lesson. The best candidates don't sell themselves. They sell outcomes. They don't say, I have 10 years of experience, hire me. They said, I've solved this exact problem before. They don't ask, will you hire me? They will ask, how can I create value here? How can I be a better team player here? How your team operates to keep everyone motivated. That's how consulting works. That's how consultant thinks. I know this because I've been a consultant in two of the big four, right? PwC and KPMG. And that's how we were used to go to companies, find the problems, provide solutions. And the next time I want you, after this video, the next time you walk into an interview, stop acting like an applicant. Start acting like an advisor, like a consultant. Stop trying to impress. Start showing that you're curious, you're a problem solver, you understand things, you can fact find. And this is it. If you want more tips like this, follow my channel and leave me a comment so I know you've been here. And we're going to do this more. The moment you change the framing, the positioning, you change the power. And that is exactly what I want you to do. And if you want to learn more about how hiring actually works in North America, from someone in been more than 10 years in Workday Consulting, worldwide global consultant coming from Big Four, we have an app and a community where we simulate all of these scenarios for you, and you get to work in a Fortune 500 culture with us. Book a call on alexcoaching.org and come experience this mindset shift, because everybody who joined my program reported that they transformed their mindset and how they approach interviews and jobs from now on. Thanks for watching. I want to see you inside.